Good day, Sir Roy and classmates. So today we are going to talk about the orchestrating play, which is scaffolding, pretend play, and responding to children's behavior. But before that, I would like first to introduce our group members: Jesre Emery Charlene, Muanya Mariel, Hershey Lubusta, and Ferrer Joanne. So now, let's talk about the objectives of this report. So this report aims to explain the concept of orchestrating play and its importance in child development. It discusses how scaffolding, pretend play, and appropriate responses to children's behavior help support learning, encourage positive behavior, and promote meaningful and enjoyable play experience. So now let's talk about the orchestrating play. Orchestrating play involves guiding children's play experiences to support learning, development, and positive behavior. So, in orchestrating play, the teacher gently plans, guides, and supports the children's play so they can learn more from it. Instead of just letting the kids play freely, the teacher set up fun activities like puzzles, blocks, and pretend kitchen. Okay? So, dito, dun sa pagpa-plan, guide, and support lang ba natatapos yung responsibility ni teacher dito sa orchestrating play? Hindi po. So, aside from it, nagkakaroon din po ng steps up. Nag-i-step up din yung teacher whenever they feel like kailangan. For example, naglalaro ng blocks yung mga bata, tatanungin nila na, ikaw hanggang saan ba yung kaya, gaano kataas yung kaya mong buuhin na blocks? Ano yung pwede nating buuhin dito? Like animals, shapes, or whatsoever. And hindi lang din isa sa mga benefits ng orchestrating play ay yung mas matututo sila dahil may guidance, pero hindi nagta-take over yung teacher. Enhance din ito ng social thinking and language skills ng mga bata. So, to conclude this orchestrating play, guiding lang ang teacher, not overtaking. So, yung learning ay nangyayari naturally sa mga bata. Ayun lang. Thank you!
I am Mariel Bimonia and I am here to discuss about scaffolding. Scaffolding is a support that adults give to help children learn new skills, like giving hint, asking guiding questions, modeling questions, and support is gradually reduced as children gains confidence. Scaffolding is a support that teachers and adults give to children to help them learn new skills or understand something better. The children and adults guide the student or the child step by step. As the child becomes more confident and capable, the support is slowly reduced so the child can do the task independently. So first, giving hint. So, yung giving hint, ibig sabihin nito ay si teacher or si adults is nagpo-provide ng mga simple clues or simple hint to help the child think of what the answer instead of telling the answer directly. Like for example, if a child is trying to identify an animal habitat and cannot answer, the teacher might say, this animal live where there are many trees and plants. So, yung hint na yun is makakatulong para isipin ng bata na yung sagot is forest. Next is asking guiding questions. Guiding questions help children think deep and discover the answer by themselves. Like for example, during their lesson about sa habitat, si teacher maaari siyang magtanong like, where do the fish live? Is it on land or in water? So yung mga tanong na yun is makakatulong sa bata na ma-realize nila na ang answer is ocean or water habitat. Next is modeling action. So, yung modeling action, ibig sabihin nito is, si teacher, ipapakita niya muna sa mga bata kung paano ba gawin yung isang activity. Tapos, pagkatapos nun is, maaaring sundin or i-follow na ng mga bata yung ginawa ni teacher. Dahil ang mga bata, kung anong nakita nila sa matatanda, ganun din ang kanilang ginagawa. Like, for example, nagkaroon sila ng activity about sa animal habitat, and yung activity na yun itinatawag na matching animal on their habitat. So, si teacher, i-demonstrate niya muna yung gagawin nila, yung activity na gagawin nila. Like, si teacher yung unang magsasagot dun sa activity para mabigyan sila ng mga example. Like, yung polar bear is nakatira dun sa Arctic. So, si teacher papakita niya na yung polar bear picture is ididikit niya under dun sa Arctic. So, yung mga student or yung mga bata ay gagayahin na kung ano yung ginawa ni teacher. Next is, support is gradually reduced. As a child start understand lesson, the teacher slowly stop giving help. So, the children can do the task on their own. Pero, yung pagbabawas or yung unti-unting paghinto ng support or ng tulong sa bata is kapalit naman nun is yung pag-observe sa kanila, yung supervision. Kailangan nandun pa rin yung teacher or yung adults para subaybayan sila kung ano yung ginagawa nila, kung tama ba or mali.
Ayan, so dadako naman tayo to the responding to children's behavior. Number 1 is observing and listening. Sa pamamagitan ng pagmamasid at pakinig, dito maiintindihan natin o mapapansin natin kung ano nga ba yung nangyayari sa bata or sa isang estudyante. Diba? So, maiintindihan natin ano yung mga triggered sa kanyang behavior. Ayan, so makikinig tayo sa kanila para ipa-feel natin sa kanila na naiintindihan natin sila. Hindi natin agad sila i-judge or hindi agad natin sila papagalitan. Ayan, so number 1 example for that is yung batang makulit sa loob ng room. Ayan, so yung appearance or yung behavior na ganon, kailangan natin i-background check kung ano nga ba yung behavior niya sa loob ng bahay nila. So, kung yung environment nila is palasigaw, palamura, palaaway, so, i-expect na natin yung behavior niya sa loob ng room is palaaway. Diba? So, doon maiintindihan natin na ay kaya pala siya ganun kasi ganun yung environment na kinalakihan niya. Ayan, so dito, ma-observe natin and magkakaroon tayo ng solution dun sa isang problema na yun na mailalayo natin sila sa mga triggered nila. Ayan, so number 2, encouraging good behavior. So dito, kapag may nagawa silang tama, i-recognize or ipipraise natin sila. Halimbawa, yung isang estudyante na hindi naman talaga nagtataas ng kamay. But, sa confidence niya, sa kagustuhan niyang sumagot, nagtaas siya ng kamay. Dito, kailangan natin siyang i-praise na good job sa pag-share mo ng idea mo para maulit yung ganong positive behavior nila. Ayan, so sa third one is redirecting gently. So dito nakikita kung maayos ba yung paggabay natin sila kung may mga mali man silang naging behavior. No, hindi agad punishment yung sagot and mas effective kapag ni-redirect natin yung bata sa mali niyang ginawa. So halimbawa na lang neto yung estudyante na nagtapon ng laruan. So tuturuan mo sila kung paano nila gagamitin ito ng tama, kung paano magiging tama yung ginawa nila. Na hindi tama na itapon yung laruan kasi ginagamit pa siya ng ibang estudyante. Ayan, so dito mas may intindihan nila kung ano yung tama at mali. Ayan, for the last, supporting emotional understanding. So dito, iintindihin natin yung emosyon nila. So mahalaga na matulungan natin yung isang bata na ma-identify at ma-express nila yung feelings nila. No, kapag yung bata sad siya, sasabihan natin siya na, mukhang upset ko. Okay lang yan, pag-usapan natin. No? Dito, ma-manage nila lang maayos kung paano nga ba nila i-express yung nararamdaman nila sa ibang tao. Ayan, so overall goal nito, hindi lang itama yung behavior nila, kundi tulungan ng bata na matuto, na maging responsible, and emotional aware sila. Paano yung approach nila na maging positive and gentle approach ang pinaka-effective sa isang long run na gagawin nila.